What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniel Walcott, and here we talk about all things real estate investing, and wealth building. And today I want to talk about one of my clients who recently closed on a multifamily in DC. And so I always get a bunch of questions about investing in multifamilies, purchasing multifamily. So I want to go through the numbers to show you guys how much it costs and how much you guys should budget if this is something that you guys are looking to do. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, they tryna at me, I'm running the race. I gotta pick up the pace. They throwing shade, but I'm gone. You gotta keep it a buck to my face.
Now, before we get into the numbers, really quick about multifamilies. Residential multifamily is 2 to 4 units, so that's duplex, triplex, and quad. If you're using a conventional loan, in some cases you can purchase with 5% down. FHA has their guidelines are a little more lenient towards multifamilies, where you can use the income from some of the units in order to qualify, and that's 3.5% down. And so, let me just write that. And I'm going to warn you guys ahead of time. Excuse my handwriting. It is absolutely terrible. However, I gotta write it, right? So I'm working on my handwriting. It's absolutely terrible, but please don't judge me for it. All right. So now this buyer purchased a duplex in DC, and we were under contract for $563,000. The loan that he used, as I mentioned, was FHA. And with FHA, it's 3.5% down. That's one of the beauties about FHA. It's not a first-time home buyer program. The only rule is that you can only have one FHA loan out at a time. But you can use it multiple times. If you were to get an FHA and then refi into conventional, you can now use another FHA loan. So 3.5% down, even with multifamilies, which is great. His interest rate, he actually got a really good rate. His interest rate was 4.5%. I'm sorry, 4.75%. His interest rate was 4.75%. Typically with FHA loans, you do get a better rate than you would with, in some cases, with conventional loans, depending on your credit score. So a lot of my clients were getting like low fives for their interest rate. So for him to get 4.75, it's actually the lowest that I've seen in a long time. Even lower than, yeah, since rates jumped up to the fives, that's actually the lowest rate I've seen in a long time. So happy for him about that. Now, your down payment is 3.5% of your purchase price. So that's 19705. So $19K roughly for the down payment. His closing costs, I already calculated it. Is 16,120. Now, not included in this closing cost is what all buyers have to pay when they're using FHA loans, and that is upfront mortgage insurance premium. So with FHA loans, now again, we love FHA loans, but there are pros and cons. Some of the cons, right? We went over some of the pros, which is that you can purchase a multifamily at 3.5%, but and they're a little more lenient when it comes to their guidelines, debt to income ratio, and different things like that. I won't get too deep into it. The cons, however, one of the major cons is that you always have to pay upfront mortgage insurance premium. This makes FHA loans more expensive than conventional loans because there is no upfront. You do have to pay monthly mortgage insurance for conventional loans when you put less than 20% down. But for FHA loans, it's 1.75% of the loan, which is kind of expensive. We're going to go through that. And then you also have to pay on top of that monthly insurance. And unlike conventional, for FHA loans, that monthly insurance does not go away. So that's going to stay with you until the life of the loan. for the life of the loan until you refinance or sell that property. So not included is your upfront mortgage insurance premium, which is 1.75% of the loan amount, not the purchase price. If you're doing the math, the loan amount. So on top of his closing costs, he has to pay this upfront premium. One of the benefits, however, is that you can actually wrap this in to the loan. So you have two options. You can either pay for it up front, in which his closing costs would increase by that amount, or he can wrap it into the loan, which will probably increase his payments by maybe $20, maybe more, depending on the interest rate. I didn't do the math, so I don't really know what that would increase his payments by. But in this scenario, he did wrap it into the loan. So that's not cash out of pocket that he has to pay. But always keep in mind that when you are using FHA loans, each and every time you use it, you have to pay that upfront mortgage insurance premium. So this total is $35,825. Now, lucky for us, we were able to get a seller credit. We love seller credits, right? We love seller credits. That means that in this scenario, we were able to get a seller credit of $10,000. Excuse my handwriting. We were able to get a credit of $10,000. In this scenario, it was because of the home inspection. So going in, it was a little competitive. Even though the property was on the market for a while, there was another offer on the property. So we didn't get any closing costs negotiated up front, but once we were able to get the property under contract and we did the home inspection, we were able to negotiate a $10,000 credit for the buyer. So he was super excited about that. And so after the seller credit, he had to bring $25,825 to the table. As you guys know, when you purchase a property and you submit an offer and it gets accepted, you have to pay earnest money deposit. That money gets sent to the title company. They're going to cash it and they're going to hold it until we close. When we close, that money gets applied to your down payment and closing costs. So his earnest money deposit was $10,000. Right? And so he brought to the table, I put closing table, $15,825, right? So to purchase a multifamily, which was a duplex in DC at $563,000, it cost him $25,825. He had $10,000 up front when we went under contract, and so at the closing table, he brought $15,825. Now, for transparency, this is only what he brought to the table. There were some other expenses involved, as you guys know. You should always get a home inspection when you're purchasing a property. I don't remember how much that costs. I would estimate about $500 for that. And he also had to pay for the appraisal. And so that's going to vary from lender to lender. If you did want to budget, I'd budget anywhere between $600 to $700. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, which I'm going to start doing more often because I don't think people do it enough, is looking at from the seller's perspective. And so in this scenario, I'm not sure how long the seller owned the property. I don't think it was that long, certainly less than 10 years. But due to appreciation, all the benefits of owning a property, right? Especially when you get into multifamily, now one of those benefits is rental income. But rental income aside, due to appreciation and principal pay down, at closing, the seller walked away with $200 $242,000, right? Come on, you cannot beat that. Look at that. So at closing, the seller walked away with $242,000. That is incredible, and that is the beauty of home ownership. And so I know a lot of you may not have this number, but if you do, you need to be investing in real estate. Inflation is at an all-time high. What you guys have in your 401k and your other retirement accounts, it's not going to be enough 10, 20, 30 years down the line. You should be investing in real estate and having your money work for you. At 20, he put down 25. He spent $25,000 to purchase a multifamily, and these are the results, right? So in 10, 20 years, whenever he decides to sell the property, not only is he putting a roof over his head, he has rental income coming in. I think he was considering doing Airbnb, so he has that option. And then through principal pay down and appreciation, he's going to walk away with a nice chunk of change. And so that's then money that you can further invest into real estate. You can start a business, or you can retire. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never gotten a lump sum of $242,000. If I was to get something like that, I'd invest in real estate. But I don't know. I may invest $200 in real estate, probably take $40,000 and take a trip. I always wanted to go to Africa, so maybe I'll do a tour, hit up Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, whatever. If you guys enjoyed this video, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If there was anything else that you wanted me to touch on or clarify, just let me know. I'm an open book. We are here together to learn, to grow, and to build our wealth through real estate. So make sure you like and subscribe if you liked what you see, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out.